Today we are reading from Servant of the Servant by Tamala Krishna Goswami Maharaj, page number 259. The name of the chapter, Oxford Street Conspiracy. In Prabhupada's absence, the unfriendly London winter revolved. So it's the same part of the year. In Prabhupada's absence, the unfriendly London winter seemed to reveal a particularly menacing face. They say in summer it is very hot outside. You come inside the shade. But in winter, whether you are outside or inside, the cold will get inside. Inside it is cold, outside it is windy and cold. Nowhere you are comfortable. So it is called, the winter is showing a menacing face. That is, winter will be, chill is biting into your bones. If the temperatures are below than the tolerable limits, people die. The body is not maintained in its normal temperature for too long, then one cannot survive. They say deaths from sunstroke, death from cold of the winter. So here, this is also like in the time when the devotees were in Europe. So that was also a winter time, what we are reading about. Some people like winter, some people like summer. What do you like? Huh? As a devotee, how do you, winters are better. Because you have a little fatter body than our body. In the middle age, people will tolerate extremes. But in the extremes of age, the extreme climates, the body cannot cope up. So the children and the old people are more prone to the extremes of the temperature. They have to be specially cared. That way, South India is considered best of the places in the world because it's not affected so much by cold. Entire world is affected, including China, Japan, but South India, surrounded by water body on three sides. But when people are sinful, somehow, if it is cold here, it must be pretty cold out there in Punjab. So, the warm thermal underwear protected us against the freezing winds of January, so it is also January. It was not so easy to insulate our hearts from the gnawing effects of Prabhupada's separation. So, talk about the devotees. Anything can be tolerated, but after all, what can you do? You have to tolerate. So, devotees cannot tolerate the separation from other devotees, or especially the advanced pure devotees. So that's what it is said here. Tamal Krishna Maharaj is feeling winter is all right, and winter will come and go. But what about the burning of sense gratification in our hearts? How that is going to be extinguished? For the New Year devotees, it seemed enough to be bundled up warmly with thick layers of clothing and to engage all day in Sankirtan. They were sustained by the initial enthusiasm of having just joined Krishna consciousness. But for me, it was not so simple. Though I had come to Europe to take part in the preaching vanguard, I had expected that Srila Prabhupada would be personally present to lead us. I had not given much thought to the obvious fact that he would soon have to return to America, where the dozen or so fledgling centers required a major portion of his time. So when we are weak in mind, when we are spiritually malnourished, like body needs nourishment, the soul also needs nourishment. So bodily nourishment, everybody knows. You should eat sumptuous, healthy, delicious food. And your body is satisfied. I am well fed. But what about the starvation of the soul? So people who are good devotees are advanced spiritual people. They develop some natural enthusiasm and their attachment. So when we stay in their company, we will not be befooled by our mind. Mind is what is the biggest enemy for spiritual life? Our own mind. Our own mind is the biggest enemy. That means if you are alone associating with your mind, you will not stay for long. Because the mind is constantly bombarding you. Do this, enjoy this. So, if you are not spiritually very strong, then you may wait for one day, 1 week, but ultimately you will be blown away. So, we need some support. Support, association, books, chanting, katha, hearing. So if you want to survive, stay on in spiritual life, you need some daily nourishment, which comes from reading like this, and which comes from association like this, and chanting the names of God. Prabhupada says that devotees will come and plant the seed. Bhakti Lata Bij. So when we associate with devotees, we develop Shraddha. Then how to make that Shraddha stronger, and how to make the Shraddha into realization. Realization has to be there. And the realization is there, we will hanker for the same state of mind. If you are relishing, that's why it is said we are daily reciting Sistastakam. In that, what will a proper devotee will pray when he comes before the Lord, when he comes to the temple? What a devotee will pray, what others will pray, and that means we don't even know what to pray. So you have to learn. Prabhupada says you don't have to make any new prayers. Dhanam dehi, rupam dehi, rupavati, bharyam dehi. Give me this, give me that. You don't have to pray. You are already stuck in these things. You have to pray to the Lord for getting you out of this mess or mesh. So, what we should pray? We don't have to make any new prayers. But that in North India, every temple sings Om Jai Jagadishwara. There are many. So just praying for the body. That means kindly you just entangle me more. So that is not a prayer. But to learn prayers from exalted devotees like Kunti Maharani, Prahlad Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj. We have to hear from Dhruva Maharaj. What did they pray? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has composed the best of the prayers. So he says, Nadanam najanam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisa kamaya mama janmani janmanisware bhavatad bhakti ahetukita. You have to make it particular to say. We are all attached to money. We are all attached to woman, or vice versa. Woman to man, man to woman. That is the nature of material existence. And these are the shackles. These are the obstacles on our way to God. They are taking you away. So we have to pray, kindly, don't make me chase money. Please make me free from attachment to opposite sex. And let me not go for prestige, adoration, these things. We all want to be recognized, glorified, because of our short-sightedness. We don't understand how many people come and go. How many people come and go? No. Who has to remember you? Then we are just when false ego. We are on the ride of false ego. We are on a trip, ego trip. So in ego trip, people want recognition, compliments, glorification. If you are not in false ego, then you say, no, I don't care all this. I just want that my faults be pointed out. Who can come and find fault with you? If somebody finds fault with you, you become a little uncomfortable. Right? When I come and blast you, you become uncomfortable. But if somebody comes and compliments you, you become very pleased. We all want to hear our self-glorification. But devotees, they tell, if somebody is glorifying you, no, Maharaj, I don't want all this. Please tell me, how can I improve better? You tell me what I'm lacking, what I'm supposed to. Yeah, that is a good devotees. Small devotees want to be in the association of small devotees. Good devotees want to be association of senior devotees, so that you learn from them, so that they will find fault with you. And, so you have room for improvement. So that's why it's saying separation from Prabhupada is more intolerable. Separation from Prabhupada is more intolerable than the deadly winters. Actually, devotee, he converts everything into a favorable situation. If you are a good devotee, the situation that is adverse, you realize this is the nature of this is the naked face of this world. That's I'm rightly situated. I want to practice bhakti. Otherwise, I'll be suffering like this in this adverse condition. Yeah, you feel comfortable when you are sick or when you are healthy. Generally, if you are sick, you feel comfortable. See how the body troubles you. Nobody else has to come and trouble you. Your own body will show you health. This is what is our life. So it's good that my intelligence is clear that I want to practice only devotional service. So that's why here Tamal Krishna Maharaj, missing the association of Prabhupada, who came and went back for his growing movement in America. He came here, spent some time, including Germany, then left. His original invitation letter had suggested I continue to oversee the West Coast affairs through correspondence until we return together. But Prabhupada had preferred that I remain behind to develop this new preaching field. Since leaving, I had not heard from any of the temple presidents. More than anything, I missed the warm companionship of all my God brothers. So we should always, if our sadhana is going on all right, we always like to be in the company of other devotees. we don't want to be in leadership position. We want to be in. That's why we call it servant leaders. That Niskan, we use the word servant leaders. Leaders may lead subordinates, but here you see leadership role also as a service. So we call it, sir, I am given the chance to speak something about Krishna because these are my subordinates and I have an opportunity to talk something about Krishna. So, Tamal Krishna Maharaj is missing the association of Prabhupada. Not only that, he was missing the association of other devotees in US. Here there are no devotees. He is meant to lead and make devotees. Though Krishna was sending many nice English boys, my seniority and position of responsibility made me feel somewhat aloof from them. I felt closer to Mukunda, Gurudas, and Shyam Sundar. But because they were Grihasthas, they were naturally attached to their wives. Especially in Mukunda's case, his wife had begun to be a problem. Everyone had known that Janaki was not spiritually strong. But so long as Prabhupada remained in London, she was able to cook for him and keep his quarters neat and clean. This service has maintained her. So we should not try to avoid service. Because generally in body consciousness, we don't like to work hard. We don't like to work. Your body always wants to relax, rest, space out. But people who are advanced devotees, they always want some service. This service had maintained her. Otherwise, our mind will go crazy. If you are not engaged throughout our wakeful hours, our mind will start thinking something else. Again, we are back in the material whirlpool. Material girth. When Prabhupada was there and he was engaging them, they were very enthusiastic. But when Prabhupada was not there, there was no leader to take charge of them so that they are seeing. Mukunda had been constantly engaged, preparing for the opening of the temple. Now, however, she seemed to be drifting more and more into her own world and was living outside of the temple. In Los Angeles, the president, Dayananda, had also lived separately, but he and his wife had nevertheless preferred many duties at the temple. So devotees, they want to be in the association, they want to be in some engagement, some seva. Prabhupada has called me to London on Mukunda's request for association, but certainly not with the idea that I would replace Prabhupada. Or I would replace the temple president. Neither Mukunda, Shyamsundara nor Gurudas, however, seemed willing to take the responsibility of leadership. I acutely felt the absence of strong brahmacharya association with its uncompromising attitude and full commitment to the service of Guru and Gauranga. And thousands of miles away, Srila Prabhupada seemed to sense my loneliness. This is there, Whenever devotees have some spiritual, devotional longings, devotional this thing, surprisingly. So, Tamal Krishna Maharaj was feeling little out of place without Prabhupada, without association, and without a superior instruction, guidance. So he was feeling that. Then unsolicited letter of inquiry was like reassuring arm stretched across the ocean to remind me of his ever well-wishing presence. Los Angeles, California, January 29th, 1970. My dear Tamal, you got a letter. When he was feeling little out of place in spiritual life. He got a letter from Prabhupada. Prabhupada seemed to sense my loneliness when we are very attached to Guru, very attached to service, very attached to chanting. And there are some difficulties or some problems. And help comes. Because Krishna is everywhere as super soul. So what did this letter say? My dear Tamal Krishna, please accept my blessings. I have not received any letter from you in several weeks. Gagamuni also has not received any letter from you. Of course, I am hearing indirectly that everything is going well in our London and European centers. Still, I would like to know from you what is the situation. So this is intimacy with the spiritual master. There are a few things. We should maintain diary. Whenever you have something to remember, we think you will remember. But over time, it's gone. But if you make a little note, when you find something nice, you just make a note. And then after some time, you go through it. So many times I see, I read books many times, but everything gone, drained out. When I'm reading it, I read it before. So, some people have good memory, some people don't have good memory. And I don't have good memory, by the way. Whether you have good memory or not, I said if you can remember Hare Krishna and don't forget it, that is also enough. If you can remember more and enliven others, it's good. But you may enliven others or not, you can survive, at least if you don't forget the basics of Krishna consciousness. And it is also said as you become a better devotee, Krishna will expand your consciousness. When we come to Krishna consciousness, we see so many inadequacies. But as you continue just chanting and rendering service, you see that you are not that limited edition anymore. It's opening up. and you feel surprised that, wow, that means we are not stagnant entities. By devotional service, you can be a person who you are not in the. That's why it is said, don't worry about what others are doing or not doing. You see what you are today, and tomorrow what were you. Yesterday what was I, and tomorrow I'm little doing better than yesterday. So that itself is enough motivation for you to go on with life. Not that, when will I give classes like him, you don't have to worry about all that. Because we are all traveling. Some people are ahead of us, some people are behind us, some people are with us, but ultimately you are for yourself, because everybody has their own businesses. Nobody will stay with us continuously. Not possible. Including your wife. People have to move on. So, I am expecting a report from you on all new developments in the activities of the centers there. So, we should develop the habit of writing, and slowly we will improve efforts. So we should take notes. Also, we should maintain contact with, they are calling, you sit here, for 1 week, I was living for so long with them. इधर आ गया तो वो छोड़ दिया. You just want that. So they feel encouraged. Indrani's Prabhu is also thinking about us, also staying so far away. So they feel that your affection is coming through. Actually, you become so happy. Suppose your Guru Maharaj calls you. You become very excited in his hundreds of disciples. How on earth he has remembered me? Call me and talk to me. If I get a call from Radhanath Swami, wow, he's such a big man with thousands of disciples, with hundreds of projects. And then, so why did he remember me? Nowadays, in ISKCON, for whatever reasons, there's no good communication. There's no good communication. There should be good communication. We should know how to make relationships. So Prabhupada is teaching that. I'm expecting a report from you on all new developments in the activities and centers there. So from Prabhupada's life, we learn how to be a Vaishnava. How does a Vaishnava? He will spend his day. How does he relate with others and other devotees? And how does he react to non-devotees? You have to watch. You always watch. And you are taking association. Association is not necessarily staying together. Association is, I look into your mind, you look into my mind. Why did he say this? Why did he do this? Now, how he is keeping himself enlivened. What is he doing? So, if you don't understand, just like you walked into my room, Maharaj, can I spend some time with you? No. that you are a conscientious guy. I may spend only 3 weeks or 4 weeks with Maharaj. What can I extract from Maharaj? Once I go away, gone for good or bad, gone. So whenever we are in the company of good devotees, we want to take it as an opportunity to delve, to dive further. So Prabhupada is saying, it's not that you have to keep your Guru Maharaj on a high pedestal. If he is willing to be accessible, you should take advantage. You cannot bug him, disturb him. You have to see his word. Different gurus, different spiritual masters. So, generally, good spiritual masters, like you are wondering, when a guru has, if not thousands, hundreds of disciples, that is also a lot. But a good spiritual master, he will always have time. Like Prabhupada, whenever he goes, he has time for darshan. Prabhupada is giving darshan. Irrespective of leaders, small devotees, darshan means everybody can come in. Right? Everybody can come in. So Prabhupada always, he made sure whenever he traveled to different temples, he will say, during evening 3 to 5, devotees can come and sit with me. Just like that. Maybe Prabhupada would like to look at our faces and talk. Or maybe when you are sitting with him and it's only silence there, then you start thinking, I should ask something. He is sitting there, spiritual master, I am sitting there, nothing to ask. After he is gone, whether a woman can become initiating spiritual life, you get all this done. Other many things. So one should always, whenever we are in the association of senior devotees, we should scratch our heads to ask something or the other. Of course, if it is entertaining. If it is not entertaining, what can you do? You can only watch him. No? So, Prabhupada, you can take a lesson whenever you go. So, I have a preaching areas, I go to Ahobilam, I go to Gudur. I should not just mind my business and come away. If they are devotees, if they want to spend a little time, let them all come. So, we should always improve our relation. We should always make relationships. So this is what Prabhupada is teaching. Devotees should not be in their own world. So this is I hope this will meet you in very good health. It is not a formality. Really, spiritual masters, senior devotees, we are living for our devotees. You always like. So, it's not a formality. We are really concerned. I had been so absorbed in leading out the Sankirtan party and managing temple affairs that I have forgotten right Srila Prabhupada. As a trusted representative, he has expected me to regularly report whatever progress had been achieved, especially in London, where he had just spent 4 months personally guiding the developments. While Prabhupada is in London, By reporting daily to him, I was always aware of his desires. His absence meant that I had to be very careful not to forget his instructions. Through regular correspondence, Prabhupada was able to judge whether I was directing the activities according to his instructions and, if necessary, to curtail any tendency on my part to see myself other than acting as the humble representative of my spiritual master. So, I think you may have also collected whatever your seniors have written to you. Maybe Gopal Krishna Maharaj has written to you. Maybe your Guru Maharaj. You have some collected letters. Did you keep them or do you keep them or you don't?
Previously, letters were exchanged.
You kept them. But nowadays, you have to take printout and keep. Previously, it was postal. I had some letters from Giriraj Maharaj. I had some letters from Bhaktichar Maharaj. I kept them. From Sridhar Swami. Some letters. So, that time we don't understand them properly. But now when you read it, wow. So, I'll stop at 9:30. There was certainly much to report since my last letter a month ago. The main news was Sankirtan. The cold weather had not deterred daytime shoppers even slightly, and Oxford Street remained bustling with business. For the British, the damp, cloudy days were a way of life. They seemed equally unaffected in the evenings, when the pubs and other night spots at Piccadilly Circus continued to be a thriving business despite the winter weather. But if the Karmis were determined for sense gratification, our Sankirtan party was equally prepared to offer them Lord Chaitanya's mercy. By now, the British devotees had become expert at selling back to Godhead magazines, and the sales had been so brisk that we had to print a special British edition to supplement the shipments from Japan. Our Sankirtan expertise was appreciated by everyone, initially, including even the police. Since introducing daily Sankirtan, we had been taking great pains to allay any fears on their part that we might be a problem for them. After receiving a number of warnings from them in regard to the blocking of pedestrian traffic, we are now taken to single file, marching along the car, and whenever possible in the street. The police constable, however, were becoming dissatisfied with our attempts at cooperation, and lately they had been asking us to entirely discontinue our kirtans. When I related to Mukunda and others our experiences in Los Angeles, we decided it would be best to seek out official sanction for our activities. Mukunda, dressed in his British best, bowler hat, sleek umbrella, accompanied me to Scotland Yard. Scotland Yard is it's a police headquarters. Perhaps due to his impressive appearance and immaculate manners, were escorted to the top floor, to the office of the commissioner himself. We had thought to first investigate what our rights were before actually making a formal request. But at this point, there is no turning back. Krishna has brought us to a confrontation with one of the highest officials in the government's law enforcement department. Mukunda briefly outlined our society's history as well as aims and objectives and informed the gentleman that we had recently been accorded charitable status by the government. We had come to request permission to collect donations from the public and to hold orderly Kirtana procession on a day-to-day basis. Mukunda presented everything perfectly, even to the point of feigning a British accent. The Scotland official attentively heard us out. Our appeal finished. We silently awaited his decision. The official began by stating that he had no doubt of our good intentions. What the country needed was more groups such as ours to combat the rise in criminality, which seemed to be sweeping the nation. Thefts, rapes, even murders are occurring in an alarming number. And the offenders were often youth, still in their teens. Before today, he had not been aware of our activities and was glad that we had taken the time to inform him. However, since we had asked, it was his duty to inform me that British law did not permit our request to be granted. As a charity, we could approach Charity Commissioner and request that they grant us a permit for public fundraising. If our permit was granted, and he assured us that it will certainly be encouraging or unquestioned worthiness, we would be able to seek donations for a period of 2 weeks in the year. There were approximately 7,000 registered citizens in England. There were approximately 7,000 registered charities in England, and the commissioner almost always allotted each a time to collect. Usually, however, they would get a turn once every 5 or 6 years, except for very large organizations like Oxfam, which enjoyed large-scale support on a national level. Without the proper permit, it was illegal for anyone to collect, and the punishment would be a fine, possible jail sentence. Regarding our marching land, there would be perhaps a problem of obstruction. The law courts had left this entirely within the discretion of each individual. The law code had left this entirely within the discretion of each individual police constable. Mukunda and I hurried out at the police headquarters. I remembered too late Prabhupada's warning to let sleeping dogs lie. Not only had we failed to gain sanction for our activities, but we had entirely exposed ourselves to one of the higher officials. The Kirtan parties were drawing the attention of the public, and they would eventually stop not only for chanting, but were magazine distribution as well. It was clean from the discussion that there was only one recourse. We would have to discriminate. We would have to discontinue the kirtana person to take tension of the agitating would have to discontinue the kirtan processions to take the tension off the magazine distributors, who would now have to work undercover. So to conclude, what is there in the paragraph? It is a 24-hour service for us. But public may see it as we are harassing them or we are disturbing them. So these misunderstandings will be there, and also devotees should not be very aggressive. If you are aggressive, then they will lodge a complaint. Why is forcing? So a devotee should be little intelligent, expert. How to, it's not that totally we get stopped from doing Sankirtan. So we have to apply different things, PR work, and sometimes Kirtan, sometimes book distribution, sometimes talking to them. So they will be made to understand that this activity should go on in the human society. Because they don't know, they think it is unwanted. But actually, when you give them association, they will also realize what an important and what a fortunate thing. But I was in some place. Yeah. It said because I got a book from you. After that, I did not meet you. I got a book from you. I put it aside for a long time. And one day I started reading, and my memories became refreshed. And then I was trying to, what is this Krishna consciousness about? This guy yesterday, he took life pattern membership. He paid right away the whole amount, 55,555. Maharaj, he was telling me, he came to my room. I gave him calendar, many sweet prasadams. He told, now I am understanding what a wonderful life it is. That time I think why Maharaj is pushing away, he did not come to Mangalarti. No, he is appreciating. I said, those little learnings, they have put us not forget Krishna. Now in Canada. He's in Vancouver. He says, I go to Vancouver temple. And then I made it a point whenever I come to India, I should visit Nellore because as a student I stayed in ISKCON temple, Nellore. To close the topic, somebody told me in Ujjain, the district magistrate, the collector, how strangely it happened in Ujjain. The district collector, he was a student in Chandigarh and he was going to the temple. And then he liked that. It's a good discipline and service attitude. And he decided, he has a desire to become a civil servant. If I become, really, if I get selected to IAS, I want to help this mission. And then fortunately, he got selection. He cleared his IAS. And then after his training, he was posted in Ujjain. He himself, he went to the devotees. If you want anything, any facilities and like that, they were shocked. This guy has come newly and why he's talking like that. And then he told his, he told his student life. And they said, we are desperately looking for a land. And he took personal interest, and you see the land, the prime land, right in the heart of the city, 4 acres of land. He personally took interest, and then he got that allotted. Not that he knows these devotees, but these devotees he knew from Chandigarh and what ISKCON is about. And so this is how things happen. Hare Krishna. So that means don't think preaching should give you immediate results. Just you go ahead doing your activities. Maybe I may not benefit from him, but he will come and benefit you there. So you want the mission to benefit. Okay. Hare Krishna. Maybe you can read few pages in the evening. You can also read few pages in the evening class will also be this. As you read, as